YouTube have stripped me of monetization. YouTube keep telling me things are wrong. They keep copyrighting the music when I'm getting it off of Audio Library. It is a copyright free channel and now YouTube are copyrighting it. But I'm going to beat them by doing it again. But they cause hours and hours of work for nothing because they are following the party line, the Roman party line, and I keep seeing cracks in it. So we're going to do this again because I'm not going to let them beat me. I'm finding this very, very tiresome because BitChute's not like it, Odyssey's not like it, Rumble's not like it, and the only place to be like it is this place. But anyway, we're going to start again. I showed you this picture the other day that Jim Dillinger had done where he's showing this building and this building to this building over here. Because this one is absolutely enormous. And I mean, these look big enough, don't they, with those buildings? And I mean, they look big enough as it is. But basically, that building there with the arches is 100 times bigger than these. There is the picture on the map that Jim Dillinger had, showing train tracks coming out of it. And look at the size of that building. And the ones that, you know, that you're looking at in this picture are these ones here. Look at the size of that to that. And you saw them. There they are. So imagine how big that building is. So that was my first point of call back on. That's the video we're doing the other day when I noticed that the Olympics had been there. Now when I first made this video I was researching and it seemed to me that I wasn't quite sure if they were in the same place, but they are, because there is a brochure there showing the Olympic Games and the World Fair together in St. Louis. There you go. And it's actually called the Louisiana Purchase Expedition. They had a lot of cars, they had a lot of stuff there. They even had a human zoo there. So it'd be interesting to work out what is the human zoo. I'm going to be a bit shocked really. I mean, God knows what was going on at this time if they call that a human zoo. But anyway, here it is, the Olympics. So the Olympiad in St. Louis, 1904. But we're going to get to the next bit in a moment because it's going to tell us something. And it goes totally at odds with the World Trade Fair. So here we come. Tensions caused by the Russo-Japanese War and difficulties in travelling to St. Louis resulted in very few top-class athletes from outside the United States and Canada taking part in the 1904 Games. Only 62 of the 650 athletes who competed came from outside North America, and only between 12 and 15 nations, and it carries on. But so do you see what I mean? So this Olympics was done in the same place as the World Trade Center. At exactly the same time the World Trade Center would have been going and the Olympics happened in and around this place. So there's a bit more there. I see there that this is the first time they used gold, silver and bronze as places. It started from 1904 Olympics, so I can't imagine that the Olympics was really a very big thing at this point. But they've started to give gold, silver and bronze. It's the first time in 1904. And then the background to this is the people who were doing the bidding and the hosting said they couldn't accept another international event in the same time frame. But they did. Because on the brochure it's got the Olympics and the World Trade Fair. So they did accept it. We had those two things going on together, which is quite incredible, isn't it? Two events. But I don't think the Olympics was that big a thing in those days. This was the start of it, and it was called a human zoo, which we'll get to in a minute as the video goes on. Did everybody know that? In 1904, the World Trade Fair and the Olympics was held at the same place. So there is the World Trade Fair. Purchase, it is. Purchase Fair. Anyway, so for the World Trade Fair, sorry, I'm just correcting this bit because I said 19,000 when it's actually nearly 20 million people went to the World Trade Fair Centre. People went to it. But when you come to the Olympic, it says because of the tensions by the Russo-Japanese War, people couldn't make it to the Olympics because they couldn't get the athletes there because of the tensions. So if they couldn't get the athletes there for the tensions, how did all this work then if they had nearly 20 million people at the purchase expedition? I don't think that makes sense. See, there it goes. Summer Olympics and the Louisiana Purchase Expedition. So how does all that work? You can't have 19 million going to the World Trade Fair and only a few going to the Olympics. What does that mean? Anyway, here's a few of the bits about the Olympics. You can see it all looks a bit basic, doesn't it? Like they have just started to do this. But I think what it is YouTube have done this because they see, I see the clinch in it. That there's something wrong. That you can't have Olympic Games going at the same time as the World Trade Fair, so the Olympics got hardly anything and the World Trade Fair got nearly 20 million. It just doesn't add up. Do you see what I mean? Do you see the problem we've got here? So that's why YouTube, that's why they did what they did to the video. These are some of the buildings I think that are around so there's St. Louis down the bottom, and these places are around to hold, I don't know, doing rowing and all that kind of stuff. So those things didn't happen in the World Trade Center. Nice helicopter going past. There's always got to be a bit of traffic or something, hasn't there? But then nice helicopter going past. There's always got to be a bit of traffic or something, hasn't there? But anyway, this is just showing you some stuff. I think we're nearly at the end now. This is telling you where they put the things and where, you know, anyway, so we're at the end of that and we're back onto this. So this puts the World Trade Fair there with the Olympics there, and there's a problem there. It says, what was the purpose of the 1904 World Trade Fair? And the article below says 1803 and 1804. Do you see that in this bit here? So that's all crazy in itself. And then here, so this one had 19 million and took all that money, but you couldn't have this one because of the tensions caused by the Russo-Japanese War. So how can you have both of those things going on? There you go, 19.7 million, nearly 20 million people. Look at the cost that it took to make the thing. It was on quite a big plot of land. And then I suddenly started seeing this bit about the human zoo. So we're going to come back to that a little bit. Amy's going to help me do that because obviously I'm redoing the video. So Amy helped me do that. So we'll leave that bit to a little bit later on. But it's called a human zoo. First of all, when I saw this, I thought, oh my God, we're just exhibits for the wealthy. But I think it's even worse than that. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a minute. We're just going through a few of the little headliners, because sometimes it's interesting, but a lot of the time it just takes you somewhere else and you end up miles away from where you started. There you go, that's the bit we're going to talk about in a minute. Yes, but here it talks about Louisiana being the largest fair in history. It had 140 cars, aeroplanes, a human zoo, and God knows what else there. It says here, when did it stop? 1998. That isn't actually very long ago. And it says here, combined with the financial losses suffered by host cities, and it's little wonder, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, it's got to be an excuse because they love wasting our money. There you go. It took place, the Olympics took place in September. The World Trade, and that's the same time as the Olympics and the World Trade Fair, so they weren't coming together. Anyway, we see this bit about human zoos, which I'm a bit disgusted about really, but there you go. 1998, it stopped just before the turn of the century, which is quite incredible, don't you think? Anyway, the next bit, I think we're going to go into me and Amy talking, but you can see where all the problems are, can't you? Nothing adds up. There's no way you can have a flop of an Olympics and 20 million going to the World Trade Fair without some of them going to the Olympics because they were in the same place as the Olympics. Do you get it? Anyway, let's carry on. Well, I was adding a bit to the video. No, sorry, I was showing Amy the video and I suddenly saw something else. We've got Amy here now.
Oh, hello, Karen and everybody.
So I was showing Amy this video and then it stopped at this bit. So it says, what came out of the 1904 World's Fair? What is the purpose of a human zoo and how it was used at the 1904 World Trade Fair? But the really strange thing is, I've already told you that the Olympics was there. So it says, the clearest expression of the fair organisers' desire to order and to rank the people of the world came with an event from an anthropology days which pitted indigenous people from the human zoo against each other in a series of athletic competitions that served as a covert means of gathering, whatever that word is, anthropometric data to whatever. But like, that is quite amazing, isn't it? I mean, I'm just taking this off the internet and it calls it a human zoo. So the Olympics is a human zoo.
Yeah.
Is that what you take? Is that what you take from it, Amy?
It could be. It could be that.
It said, in order to rank the people of the world, came with an event known as Anthropology Days, which pitted indigenous people from the human race against each other in a series of athletic competitions.
Well,
That's the Olympics, which is the purpose of a human zoo and how it was used at the 1904 World's Fair.
oh gosh.
Well, things never boggle you, do they? Like, what is that telling you?
Yeah, it's like they view us as performers in a zoo. Like we're just doing display or something
Because
for entertainment.
when I showed it before about the human zoo, it was like it was being shown there, and I thought, oh, in the video I say, oh, well, that's not very nice, is it? You know, obviously we're there for the rich, you know, on show. But now looking at it, that says that we're in a human zoo
Yeah.
on the internet. Well, anyway, we just wanted to add that bit, didn't we, Amy? What to say? Because it's over this bit about what is the largest fair in history. The Louisiana Purchase Expedition in Louisiana, Missouri, USA, 1904 covered 1,270, I don't know how many that is, acres. Well, it was a lot of acres, and 19,694,855 people went. So at the same time, the Olympics flopped. The Olympiads.
Yes.
Olympiads it was called, not Olympics. The Olympiads were going, whatever it was. That was the word that was used. And then you've got the human zoo. Well, what the hell was going on here?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't sound very nice, though.
No, none of it does it, when you work it out? Anyway, thank you for helping me add that bit,
Oh,
Amy.
you're welcome, Karen.
It's been ages since you've been on a bit of a video.
I know, it has.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks a lot, my darling.
Oh, you're welcome, Karen.